Hey guys, what's up? It's Meezy coming at you live with a every color in the palette challenge. Me and two of my line sisters decided to do this challenge because we have no lives and we were bored. So I'm going to be using the box of crayons palette. I'm going to use every single shade in this palette, all 18 of them. As you can see, it's done. I did it. It's possible. But it took a lot of trial and error. I've actually filmed this video 3 times before today. And the first time I broke down into tears because it just wasn't going well. The second time I filmed it and I didn't press record, so that was a bless. And the third time I did press record, I went to brunch afterwards and I came back and the file was corrupted, so I couldn't use it. So here I am today filming this video again, and it's finally gonna make it to YouTube this time. So yeah, one thing I will say, it's gonna be a voiceover, so I just want to say some stuff first, is that this blue shade is like dried out. I bought this probably in the summertime, so I'm really not sure what's up with that, but the rest of them are perfectly fine. You do not need to use water, but I will say that you need to use a dense brush when you use the shimmers if you really want them to pop, because if you use a brush that diffuses color, then obviously they're not gonna go on as well. So the brushes that I used for this look were this like flathead brush, and this brush right here, and I use these 2 brushes right here, and I switched between these 2 for the mattes. They're just like really dense and really together, but they're still small, so they work really well for that. And then I use a diffuser brush, which a smudge brush, which I cannot find right now. But the smudge brush was the best for the mattes because it has so many bristles. It can pick up like all that pigment and then just pack it on really nicely. I used the NYX eyeshadow base as a base. I primed my eyes with concealer. You have to use a base with this if you want the colors to pop. Otherwise, it's gonna look really like muted. It's not gonna be popping and like vibrant and like I'm here. So you definitely want to use a base. And then I just did the rest of my makeup the same. It was an eyeshadow tutorial, so I didn't even bother filming that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start the video now, and just make sure you watch it and then like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the end of the video. Bye. Nope, not bye. The video is just starting. Okay, so we are gonna kick this off by using the tan color. Yep, that one right there, and we're gonna put it right on top just to use it as a transition shade. I took it down a little bit more just to blend it out as much as possible and to make sure that everything was the same color. Shortly after doing this, I realized that I did not put on any eyeshadow base, which is necessary for using this palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to both of my eyelids right now with a concealer brush. And then once I finish applying, I'm just going to pat it out some more to make sure it's evenly distributed and there's no clumps. And I'm going to do that using my finger as best as possible with these acrylics. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with the shade Red in the palette. It's red, as you might have guessed. And I'm just going to pack that on to the outer corner of my eye. Don't pay attention to me talking. My friends were in the room with me while I was filming because I was filming this on New Year's Eve. And I'm going to use the brush cleaner from the crayon case to switch colors. And then I'm going to go into the orange shade, which is the shimmer. So I'm using that smudger brush because it's just really dense and packs it on and makes it just pop. I mean, look at that payoff. No water or setting spray needed to bring her out. Next, I'm going in with the yellow shade, which is a matte. So I went back to that flat eyelid brush. And the thing to remember to make sure that all these colors blend together is to put the color, your current color over your last color. Like, make sure you pull it into that color a little bit. Not completely, because you want to be able to see the old one, but a little bit so that it's a nice gradient versus just blocks of separating lines of color. And the yellow is a little hard to show up, so I gotta pack that on a lot, but it's such a beautiful color. Next, I am going in with the shade Green, very basic shade name, so this should be easy for you to follow. And I'm just gonna pack that on the same way that I did the yellow. It's easier to get this to show up on my skin tone, so I won't have to pack on as much. The next shade I'm using is Blue, and this one was dried out for me. It was really hard, and my friend said something funny, so there I am laughing about it. But so the blue one was really hard to put on, but I made it work. I still didn't use any water, and it showed up pretty well. Another thing is to be careful of how big you make the sections because you might run out of space. I'm on my last color right now, which is Violet, which is another shimmer. And so I had just enough space. The first time I did this though, I was out of space in like the fourth color. So just be mindful of that. And a way to prevent that might be to start from the inside. And I'm just packing on that violet color because it just wasn't showing up like I wanted it to, so I just kept adding. And now Celebratory Dance because it actually looks nice. And since I am clearly 12 years old, I'm counting on my hands how many shades I've used so far, and the number is 6, 7? I'll put it on the screen. Now I'm going to do my lower lash line, and I'm starting with the color Magenta on the corner of my eye and connecting it to that red shade. Next, I'm using the pink, which is a matte. And for all these, I'm using the same tiny brush since I'm trying to do my under eye and make it very precise and make sure it's as tight as possible but still noticeable. And I'm also making sure to bring it down so that you can actually see the shade when my eyes are closed. The next color that I'm going in with here is the color Lime Green because all of them don't have a correlating shimmer. So, yeah. That's just me going in with the Lime Green. And the next shade I'm going in with is the gold. Shout out to that squinting action. Oh my gosh. I wish I could cut that out, but it would be so tiny. It would make a big difference. So the next color I'm using is the shade Gold. And now, after I finish Gold, I'm going to go in with the color Violet, and it's going to go right up until the inner corner to meet that. I meant the shade Purple is going to meet with the shade Violet, which is on top. So I tried to correlate the top colors with the bottom colors, and then I found out how much time I had left, and I was shook because I did this super quick. Next, I'm going on top of the eye, and I am trying to straighten out my line with the color Brown. And I'm using a flat brush to apply that, and then I'm going to pick up a fluffy brush, a blending brush, and buff that out. There's no product on this brush. It's really just to smooth out that line and make sure it's not harsh. And blend in the brown with the tan that we applied first. Next, I'm going to apply Deep Plum to my waterline. I'm using that as an eyeliner. I love bottom liner now. So I wanted to bring that nice purple shade right there. And it was actually really hard to get this to appear on my waterline. I'm not sure why. But I was doing it for a while. And next, I'm applying the color Black right on my lash line to use as eyeliner. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but on the bottom lash, under the eye, I use baby blue in my color gradient. Just so y'all know, I use all the colors. And I'm going to go ahead and hit that inner corner with the color White right directly on the inner corner. after I stare at myself for a while. So I'm using the color white, and then it's also mixed in with some silver to give it some extra bling and really make that inner corner pop. So this is the finished look. It wasn't as hard this time because I have done this 4 times. It was a struggle, but I think it came out really nice. I don't know, I like it. I wouldn't wear this on a normal day, but you know, I wore it to drag brunch and all that, so I think it's really cool. I decided to hold my camera, you know, switch up the angles, this and that. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let me know what palette I should do next, because I think I will use one of my ABH palettes next for this challenge. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!